to the cloud.
Hi.
All right, you guys. So here's the deal. This is what Power Hour is. I have actually never run one of these before, and I'm super excited about it because, well, I'm just gonna be honest. I am fired up about the new year. Okay. There has definitely been a world of things happening, right? And I have never been more fired up to help people with their health, one, and with their wealth, two. Okay. Those are the two number one things that everybody going into the new year wants help with. Okay. And what is so incredible, and I'm going to tell you, and this is obviously a personal testimony, but a personal story as well. I truly think if you live in that healthy lifestyle and you get people to obviously see that and hear those results, things go quicker for you. So just to be honest with you, I had to cancel yesterday because I had strep throat. I feel like my new self again today. Okay. Now, I know strep throat can take people out for like weeks. I know that my body, first off, I'm a mom. So I'm like, nope, sorry, we can't do this. Let's go. Get your sleep, get up, let's go. But I also knew exactly what supplements to take. I knew what I'd already been taking. Okay. And I also knew what supplements that could help during this time that my body was kind of depleted on some of those things. Okay. So again, going into the new year, first off, okay, obviously, you guys, I feel like the whole world right now has the C word, right? So going into the new year, people are looking for what they can do to keep themselves healthy, okay? And that is not saying you are not going to get sick. I always try and tell this to people. That's not saying you're not going to get sick. It's saying though, when something happens to your body and you do get sick, you then have the tools to help yourself, okay? So I always let people know that even healthy people get sick. It is what it is. We live in a world of viruses, right? So now, in terms of the wealth aspect, you guys, first off, as much as this last 2 years has sucked, I'm just going to full blown just say sucked ass. Okay. It really has, in terms of all of the different opinions and all this crap that's going on. What it's doing now is honestly making people question their jobs. I'm just going to be honest with you. It really is. And with that being said, it also, I had somebody today who told me I have COVID right now and I can't go into work. I don't know how I'm not going to be able to get paid for 2 weeks. She said that to me. Now, to me, I was like, oh my gosh, girl, if you had this in your hands, that wouldn't even be a worry, because you know that you could make that extra $200 in the next couple of days to supplement whatever, maybe it's not as much, right? But to supplement what you're missing out on, because they're not paying you for that. Okay. So I want you to think about that when you're going into the new year. First off, people are looking for the health, people are looking for wealth, and we have our hands on both. But here's the deal, you guys. People will never, ever know what you have your hands on if you don't have a relationship with them, if you're not talking to them, and if you're not openly having a normal conversation and building a relationship of trust. Okay. If people see your post or your, whatever, your Facebook as that's your store. Okay. Cause we don't own a brick and mortar, but your Facebook, your social media, whatever you're using is your storefront. And they don't see, one, that the door's open, but they don't see, two, that what it looks like, it's just all the sales signs all the time, like sales, here's this, you get turned off by that. Everybody does. So if people only see that aspect of you, they are, again, never going to ask questions. They're never going to build a relationship. They're only going to think all she does is sell crap, right? All she does is post up about what she sells. Okay. So what we're going to do tonight, we are going to work together. We are off here at 9 p.m. on the dot. Okay. Or wherever your coast is. We're off here in whatever, 55 minutes. Listen, literally, I'm going to give you, hey, we're going to go do this for 5 minutes. And I want you to go do it. We're going to go. So you need to make sure, if you are up on your phone or you're on your computer, you need to make sure you can maneuver both. Okay. If you don't have both, then obviously if you need to click out of the screen for a sec, whatever you got to do, but you need to do each thing with me. Okay. I'm not asking you what you did, what you said, all the things. I'm just going to obviously take your trust on this. This is your business. And again, if you want to be successful here and you want to change the lives of so many other people doing these types of things. Now, this is a power hour. This is just doing it within this hour. This is normally going to be like a day's time, you guys. So understand that. Please don't get overwhelmed by this, because it's supposed to be like within a day's time. All right. So with that being said, hold on, let me pull up my notes here a sec. And where are you, notes? Okay. All right. So with that being said, my DMO, my daily method of operation, is not, this is me, is not organized. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. Now, Sarah, my girl's on here. She's an organized one. She's literally going to do a training. Sarah, what day are you doing that training, by the way?
It's tomorrow at 1 Central,
Tomorrow,
2 p.m.
Okay, 1 p.m. If you are not in Legacy League, make sure you get in there, but it's in Legacy League at 1 p.m. She is going to do a training. If you are somebody who needs it listed out like this, you guys, if you need a Google Doc and you need like, hey, I need this 5 minutes, whatever, this time, I might cough here and there, FYI. She will do that. And she is incredible with it, you guys. Get on that training tomorrow. But what I'm going to tell you today, my DMOs are all over the board. I'm a list person. I am a list person. I've always been a list person. So if I want to put in the comments, are you somebody who needs that organized, like 9 o'clock, I do this, 10 o'clock, I do that. Put that, if you are like organized, right? Organized. If you are just, I need a list and I need to get through the list, whatever order it is, put list in the comments. Okay. I just want to know what type of person you are. I am totally a list, right? Like I just need to see it. And then I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Okay, maybe I'm going to get to this in the morning. Maybe I'll get here. And it's kind of all sporadic. Okay. That's how I was teaching too. I made my plans, but I was like, you know what? It's not going the way I planned. We're going to move this here. We're going to move this here. All right. So with that being said, my daily method of operations may look a little different than yours, and that's okay. But I want you to see, I tried to do them for everybody. Okay. All right. Biggest thing I can tell you is to time block things. Okay. So even if you have a list, okay, even if you have a list of things you have to do, make sure you allot a certain amount of time for it. And the times could change each day. Maybe one day you have more time, right? Maybe another day you have no time. Maybe one day you have less time on a certain thing, whatever it is. Just make sure, if you can, set a timer. Set a timer, which I'm going to be doing with you tonight. Set a timer, okay? And try and get whatever you can done in that amount of time. Now, the very first thing we're going to do, I talked about this a number of times in any of my trainings, but I've seen messages, people who have messaged me that have turned me off completely, okay? And now when I started this company, I only started this company to share the products. I was all about 50% commissions, and I could share the products because what we have our hands on, you guys, are the cleanest, most incredible ingredients I've ever seen in any health food or supplement products out there. Okay. So I knew I can share that. But what I didn't want to do was sponsor. What I didn't want to do was build a team. And now, you guys, I would rather share about the team. I love getting the business aspect out there. Now I love the products, so I still obviously share about the products, but I love more than anything because I've seen what it has done for other people, right? I've seen what it's done for myself. I've seen what it's done for other people. And I've seen that this business can really do incredible, amazing things that other ones could not, to be honest with you. And that is a testament to that 50% commissions too. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm not going to sit on here and tell you, hey, you're going to send 50 messages today and you're going to say this. Because I don't believe in sending messages to people just to send them and sound spammy. And if you do that, I want you to stop. Okay. I want you to stop doing that because people read right through it. I mean, you guys have probably gotten it before, right? You read someone sends you a message. Maybe they're like a Beachbody person, whatever. And they're like, hey, you know what? We're starting this group and I just blah, 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 blah. And I love it. You guys, but you've never talked to them. You haven't communicated with them. You haven't done anything, right? And you're like, no, I don't even know you. Okay. So very first thing we're going to do, and normally I do this in the morning. This is just me, but birthdays. Okay. We're going to start with 5 minutes. And now if you've already wished people happy birthday, that's wonderful. Cause so have I, but guess what you're going to go do in these 5 minutes? You're going to go back to the people who had birthdays. You're going to go look at their Facebook right now. I want you to look at them and see if they did something today. Or go back into your message and say, like what I do usually. So I wished them a happy birthday. And then at nighttime, I go back and I'll say, hey, what did you do for your birthday today? Did you do anything special? Something like that along those lines. Okay. Or I'll look at their actual Facebook and I'll see like, oh, they went out to dinner. And I'm like, oh, I love like whatever it was. Or let's say they went somewhere, whatever it was. How was that? How was dinner? I saw you went to dinner. That's so fun, or whatever it may be. Okay. So what you're going to do, I'm going to set a timer, 5 minutes right now. You're just going to go into your Facebook friends. We're just focusing on Facebook because obviously Instagram, we have no idea. We're going to go into Facebook friends. You are going to pull up those birthdays. And for 5 minutes, you are just going to create those conversations, 5 minutes of conversations. Okay. So, and maybe you're not going to get to them all. That's okay. Depending on how many birthdays, maybe you're only going to get to 2, but don't waste your 5 minutes. Don't just sit there then. Then what I want you to do, go back to those belated birthdays and say, hey, how was your birthday? Tie it to you. Like, I love birthdays. So I'm always like, I love birthdays. I wish I could have done XYZ on my birthday, but I couldn't, whatever it may be. Go back into those. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to time it. We have 5 minutes. You can turn off your picture if you want, if you're going to do work, whatever you're going to do. All you're going to do is 5 minutes of time, go into those birthdays, wish them a happy birthday, get the conversation moving, just talking about their birthday, what they've done, how are they, whatever, that type of thing. Okay. Because a lot of times too, you guys, the birthdays, you haven't talked to these people in a while. And it's really cool to see the people you haven't talked to in a while. All right. All right. Ready? And go. 5 minutes. And I'm doing it right alongside with you. I'm doing it on my computer. And I'll kind of talk a little bit through this too, once I send my messages. I should have put on like fun background music, but because what I want to do too, you guys, is I want this to be interactive. So if you send a message that like you notice somebody responded back to, or it was really, it started a great conversation, put it in the comments so everyone can see too. And also, if you don't know where your birthday messages are, go to your notifications. I probably should check the chat. Okay. We are already 1 minute in. So see how fast that 5 minutes can go just to create that little bit of conversation. And oh, FYI too, don't just wish women happy birthday. Wish both men and women. I always wish the guys too. And then as they're seeing things, their wives start to see things. I'll tell you that much. One of the girls I was on a power hour with, by the way, she had mentioned that she only sends birthdays at night because she is like, they got through all of their messages for the day. And so hopefully then our conversation will go back and forth a little more, which I really loved. However, I would totally forget them. I have to do birthdays first thing because notifications tell me right away in the morning about birthdays. So just an FYI there too, if it works for you better that way. I always like to do, like, I always like for this girl right now, I just said, happy birthday, love. How have you been? I haven't talked to her since May. You have 2 minutes left. So remember, go back to those belated. Question, is it better to do birthday as a message or on a feed? No, Debbie, message, 100%. Thank you for asking. Yes, go into Messenger. I never post on their feed because if you think about it, do you like, I mean, maybe we'll scroll through and like read, but we're like, okay. We won't remember who actually said happy birthday. But when you get into a message, like when I get a message, I'm like, oh, that person actually went out of their way to wish me a happy birthday. I remember them more. And again, then the conversation can keep moving because you can go back into those conversations. Okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds. And especially now more than ever, you guys, having that conversation of saying, happy birthday, how have you been? Or happy birthday, how has life been treating you in this like crazy world? You know, those spark more conversations. And depending on where you live, your world might not be as crazy as some of ours. All right, you guys, 45 seconds. Finish your birthday messages. Another thing is saying happy birthday, what's new with you? How are you? What's new with you? Because then that also comes back to, usually if you ask that question, then they'll usually say, oh, what's new with you? Like, how have you been? You know, and that's where you can bring in, oh, well, I've been great. I actually started my own health and wellness business. All right, you guys, time's up on the birthdays. Finishing my last one there. All right. So, all right, now we're going to move on. I do my birthdays. Now I move into my personal development. Okay. So each morning, each day, I try and do, whether it's a quote, whether it is 30 seconds, whether it is 2 minutes, whatever it is, I try and do some sort of personal development piece. Personally, for me, every night I read one verse of one chapter of the Bible. Actually, I'm not going to lie. I don't read it. I have it read to me because I just don't like reading. But that is my like nighttime. Ooh, okay. Right before bed. That's just me personally. But in the morning, aside from my mojo, I like to have something that's like, ooh, yes, that's a good motivation. That's a good something, right? So I like to have a motivational quote. I like to have some sort of like quick, if you go Google like 5-minute personal developments or 2 minutes of personal development or whatever it may be, or motivational quotes, whatever it is to just kind of boost your mood that morning or really just get you going and fired up, I highly recommend it for the morning. If that means you're driving to work and listening to it, if that means right after you drop off the kids, if that means right after a kid was screaming, whatever it may be, okay? So what I'm going to do for you tonight is I'm going to share with you a 5-minute personal development that I watched. And this is something that has to do with sports, but I always have said that I think athletes and business go hand in hand. They really are very similar. And I just want you to hear what this guy's saying, and don't just take it as a sports. I want you to take it as business and yourself, because it's all about yourself here. Okay. So we're just going to watch this 5 minutes. This is our 5 minutes, a little bit longer, 5 minutes of personal development here. Okay. And in the comments when we're done, I want you to comment
94%
what you got out of it.
Company culture,
like the biggest
important to an
takeaway, like one
organization's
line,
success.
whatever it may be. Okay. Here we go.
So many people think the self-help industry is about things you do. I think one of the things that makes athletes so incredible is what they're willing not to do, what they're willing not to say, what they're willing not to eat, what they're willing not to consume, what they're willing not to watch. Nobody wants to be told to be positive. Positive thinking is probably the #1 reason this industry has not grown in my 44 years of living. Positive thinking in many cases repulses people. You're telling me to be positive and I'm going through a divorce. You're telling me to be positive and I got this current situation. You're telling me to be positive and I got this health situation. So then what's the alternative? Well, the alternative has always been negative. When you look at the human performance, you look at nutrition, you look at strength and conditioning, you look at fatigue science, you look at all these different things.
Really quick, I'm just going to pause it. Debbie, he might swear in here just a little bit, just an FYI, because your granddaughter.
Saban believed that there had to be some emphasis on psychological education. Well, most people think of sports psychology as treating somebody who has a problem. Nick Saban didn't look at it that way. He looked at how do we make our best players better? So ultimately, psychologically, we had to come up with a plan for everybody. What we learned was that negative thinking was the most powerful element that our players were combating. That negative thinking was weaponizing them against them. So how's negativity carried? Well, is it your internal thoughts? Well, if you're dealing with trying to change internal thoughts, then you got to go to affirmations and you got to go to imagery, you got to go to visualization. Very difficult skills. But we started to look at the externalization. Well, if somebody says something out loud, it's 10 times more powerful than if they think it. And then as we started to study the data, particularly data that was just reinforced by Christine Porath from Georgetown and Harvard, that negativity is a multiple of 4-7 times more powerful than positivity. So think about that. If I say something out loud, it's 10x. If it's negative, it's 4 to 7 times more powerful. So when I say negative things out loud, it's 40 to 70 times more likely that that will happen or cause a result that won't be good for me than if I just didn't say anything. And this is what I want people to understand. Your internal thoughts are all over the place. There's another great story that I saw from a magazine called Success Unlimited in 1973. A guy is hired to fix a refrigerated boxcar in back of a train. He goes into the train, he panics, gets himself locked inside the boxcar. So now he's pounding on the door, there's nothing to do. He starts to panic and thinks he's gonna freeze to death. He finds a pen, he starts writing down, Tom, what's going through his mind, and he writes down, I'm becoming colder. As people, one of the things we do to ourselves is observe and report. I'm not playing well, I'm having a bad day, we're having a bad quarter, my marriage isn't going well. We observe and report. Still colder now, he writes, nothing to do but wait. Half asleep, I could hardly write. Finally, he says, these might be my last words. And I'll show you the article. They open up the boxcar many hours later and they find him and he's dead. But the temperature inside the boxcar was 56 degrees. The freezing apparatus was broken. There was plenty of air in the boxcar. There was no physical reason for his death. The best they could say is somehow he talked himself into dying. So negativity is the most powerful thing we're combating. Look at our politics today. Positive message versus a negative message. It's no chance. Just if you follow the data and you say stupid shit out loud, ultimately you're predicting and perpetuating exactly what you don't want to have happen. You're always in control of what you say. People say, yeah, but I can't. The thinking, everybody's fucked up in the thoughts. I've been with people the night before Super Bowl, the night before national championships, 8 different times where the doubt's there, but we're not externalizing it. If a car's going backwards, it can't automatically go forward. So it has to shift into neutral and then it stops. And at that point, you could either go forward by changing your behavior or you can go backwards by doing the same stupid shit you were just doing. Russell Wilson's 5'10". He shouldn't be playing pro football, but he behaves like the best quarterback in the country. And he's done that since before he was at that level. And then his feelings and emotions and his skill caught up to that behavior. Your behavior is what's going to change you. But you also have to start by asking yourself, what do I want and why do I want it? Why don't I have it? You know, what am I willing to do to get it? Don't say stupid shit out loud. Be mindful of what you consume. If I watch 3 minutes of news that increases my probability by 27%, I'm going to say I had a shitty day, right? When I was going through, a divorce, I had a lawsuit, I had some health challenges, all these different types of things. If I'm listening to Jake Owen or Sam Hunt, I love New Country, but New Country makes me just want to go run and jump off a cliff. You know, it makes me think I'm never going to meet another girl ever again in my life, which I hope is not true. What are the things that are in our control? What we watch when we get home, what we listen to when we're in our car, who we talk to when we get on our cell phone, and what we say out loud always as we speak. And I think that those are the powerful things. And ultimately, our behavior is what's going to define our success. So many people think the self-help industry is about things you do. I think one of the things that makes athletes so incredible is what they're willing not to do, what they're willing not to say, what they're willing not to eat, what they're willing not to consume, what they're willing not to watch. What are 5 things you cannot do right now that will instantly make your life better?
All right, you guys. So I thought that was incredible. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, incredible. So I will share that into our teen group, by the way. But I think that's one that seriously people should watch every single day. All right. So with that being said, all right, I wanted you to see that because again, I feel like when we have months that are slower or when, you know, we get into a business and it's not going exactly how we thought, or when we're, you know, sharing and sharing, we feel like we're doing all the things, right? Or life happens. Like you guys, this has probably been my worst month ever, just in terms of life going on. Okay. And I get down on myself. I get down, I'm saying, what the heck's going on? Why I'm doing this, but then I also have this going on, doing this. And I realized when I was watching that, I'm like, gosh, I am letting all of that negativity run my business, all that negativity run what I'm doing. And if I turn it to, again, that positivity, and like what he was saying, when you say it out loud, if you're saying the negative out loud, that's what's going to happen 10 times more, right? So as much as we can, as soon as we get in that mindset of that negativity or things aren't going right, or I'm working so hard, but this is whatever it is, turn it to the positive. But I've helped 2 people this month. but I had a new customer come in. But I am sharing what these products have done for so many other people. Okay. So now I always scroll intentionally. So now again, remember you guys, like I am showing you that this is a full days. Okay. So don't think I do all this. I don't even have time to do all this in like 10-minute time frame, but I scroll intentionally in the morning. I try and do it in the morning. So I do it while I'm drinking my cup of mojo, while my kids are having breakfast. Okay. So I scroll, which means I go down my Facebook and I just scroll and I look for people who I could connect with. Okay. And when I scroll, for example, here, I scroll down and I'm seeing people I can connect with. Okay. Maybe I buy a bathing suit here and there, but okay. I scroll down and I see people. And instead of commenting, like my friend Colleen, instead of commenting on her, I will go and message her. Get into that messenger. Don't just comment on a post. Like it, do what you want, but get into Messenger. So what we're going to do here for 7 minutes, you have 7 minutes of intentional scrolling, which means I don't care if it's Instagram, I don't care if it's Facebook, whatever you want to do. You are going to scroll and you are going to make relationship connections with people. So if you see something like her sweater is cute, I'm going to go message her and say, Kyle, your sweater is super cute in that last picture. Where'd you get it from? And I'm going to start a conversation there. Okay. Now, if these are people that literally you talk to every single day, don't message them. I want your scrolling to be intentional. These are people that you want to build new relationships with, that maybe your eye have been on, that you want to continue to build so they can build the trust with you. Okay. All right. So here we go. You have 7 minutes. Ready? And go. Go on your Facebook, go on your Instagram. I don't care what it is. Like it. That's fine. Like their post, but get into Messenger. Take that post and go into Messenger. Okay. Again, I'm going to do this on my computer because it's easier. And while you're doing this, like myself, you might get birthday messages back and you can continue that conversation as well. And sometimes, guys, we catch ourselves, and I'll be honest, I do this way too much, but I catch myself scrolling unintentionally, right? So I'm just, looking. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I even looking at? I'm like down the reels, whatever you call that, going down the tunnel, whatever it may be, but it has no intention in my purpose. So try, and if you can, get your brain to focus back in on what you're doing. Again, here's your timer. Setting that timer is really, really going to be helpful. And that's the beauty of our phones, you guys. You can set it right on your phone and they'll tell you, hey, your 7 minutes is up. Now you can look at some bathing suits if you want. Okay. Okay, you guys, 4 minutes left. 2 minutes. All right, you guys, 1 minute left. Keep those conversations going. And what's really, again, wonderful is that things that you're doing right now will probably more take place tomorrow when you're going to be having these, which is why your timing might be a little different when you do this, because you might be responding back to a lot of different people. And let me tell you guys, when we're going to get to a post one, you guys have to put up this post. I cannot even believe the amount of messages I am getting right now. This is insane. All right, you guys, we are finished with that. Okay, so we are going to move on. And okay, so, and again, remember, maybe today, and again, you guys, I'm breaking this into very short time frames, so maybe you have more, again, maybe you have more time to do that intentional scrolling. Maybe you have 15 minutes in the morning. Maybe you can do 8 minutes on Facebook, 8 minutes on Instagram, whatever it may be. Okay. All right. So now, the next thing I put is posting with a purpose. Okay. Posting for a purpose, giving relatable content. Okay. And making things engaging or interactive. So when you just post something like, just say, you know, you post facts about our products. Okay. Most people are not going to engage in that post. Or if you say, I have a call tonight, message me, or I have a presentation tonight, comment below. Because here's the deal, even though they might want to, no one wants to be the first person to do that comment, right? Nobody wants to do that. Even I'll see that, like I'll see, it's funny, Ricky put up a post about, she's doing like this group for like health and wellness and blah, blah, blah. And I literally did not even comment on the post. I went into her messenger and I was like, hey, girl, I know what you're probably trying to do. Probably trying to get customers and stuff, but I'm like, I would really love to learn from you. So can I get in that? But again, most people, if they're going to want to interact with you, they're going to try and shoot you a personal message. But if you can make those posts engaging and have them think like, what is she talking about? What does she have her hand on? What's going on there? Okay. Now I don't want everyone to go post this right now, but sometime this week, okay, I put up a post. And it all depends, again, when you post too, I'll be honest with you. And I'm not a Facebook algorithm guru, so I really have no idea. But I'm just telling you, sometimes you might get responses on something and somebody else gets way more responses. Please don't let that, bother you. Okay. But all I put up today was a post about hair loss. And what did I put? Hold on, because it's literally getting so many people, I cannot even keep up. Okay. So this is what I put up today. I put post-COVID hair loss. Anyone, I have found something that will help. Okay. That's all I did. And I got this from somebody else. So this wasn't me. Okay. So all I did was put that up. You guys, I have at least 15, 16 people who have already commented asking for more information. Okay. Now here's the deal. My story has nothing. Okay. So maybe I got it from Sarah. My story has nothing to do with COVID hair loss. I haven't lost my hair from COVID yet, but I have a postpartum hair loss story. And I also know many, many people that we have in our health wealth community that have hair loss stories. So what I did was I posted that, and it's again, intentional. It's with a purpose. I wanted people to think like, okay, well, I didn't want them to think, I want them to ask, like, what is it? What's going on? Which is exactly what they did. Okay. And now I went into Messenger and I messaged those people and I simply said, hey, this is exactly what I said. I'm just going to read it to you so that you guys, and if you want to type it while I'm reading it, whatever you want to do. But I said, hey, I hope you guys are well. I saw your Christmas pictures. Okay. So I related to them. I said, it looks like you had a wonderful holiday. I wanted to let you know the product that has greatly helped with hair loss for me personally, and many of my friends that lost it from COVID. So I'm telling her, I told her mine is from postpartum. My other friends have lost it from COVID, or you could say from other things, whatever it's gone with you. I said, it is my company's liquid collagen. I have incredible before and afters from many of my clients. It is something you need to be consistent on, but most people saw results within the first 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah, I will copy it and put it in there, Genevieve. I made up a new name for you. So you guys, I made it intentional in my messages as well. Okay. So I didn't just say, oh, hey, it's my collagen, the one I share about all the time. Cause you know what, even though I feel like I share about it all the time, this person maybe has never known. Okay. So remember to start the message. I just posted in the comments, but remember to start the message with something that they can relate to first. Hey, how are you? Your Christmas looked wonderful. Great. Okay. So what I want you to do right now, 2 minutes, I want you to come up with an intentional post. Please don't everyone do that one. Save that one because guess what? Here's the deal. Many of you are multiple friends on Facebook. The algorithm's going to see the same person post the same thing. It's not going to get the views like you want. Okay. But if you share it tomorrow, the next day, whatever. But all I want you to do is come up with a post. And in the comments, let's do an interactive here. Who can come up with some things that we could post about? Maybe, and think about right now, what are you doing right now? Maybe it's about a team training. Maybe it's about getting ready for bed. What's your nighttime routine? Maybe it's about what you did with your kids today. Maybe it's about the fact that it snowed outside and hey, does anyone else love the snow or do you hate it? Whatever it is, again, you're just getting interaction onto your Facebook. Now, obviously mine had to do with a product. Okay. So you can obviously do that. Okay. I love it. Ashley, what's your favorite memory from Christmas this year? I love that. Guess what? Ashley's post right there. What's your favorite memory from Christmas this year? You guys post that. People are going to comment. You now have 50 new messages that you can send to people because you are going to go and they say, hey, my favorite Christmas memory was the fact that I finally got to be with my family after 2 years, whatever it may be. You go in a message, say, I cannot believe it was 2 years since you saw your family. That's so incredible. I'm so happy for you. And a relationship starts to build and a conversation starts to go. Okay, you guys. So what I want you to do right now, just take look at people are commenting in here. Take 1 minute of time. Okay. Take 1 minute of time and go and put up a post right now. I don't care if you posted 5 minutes ago. I don't care. Okay. 1 minute of time and go put up a post and let that post be engaging and interactive. Okay. Yes. Becca said, I asked people for breakfast recipes and they had over 30 comments. There you go, guys. There you go. Okay. Again, make it interactive. What could they comment? Okay. Ask a question. Favorite brand of wine, love it. Or favorite flavor, love it. Okay, go and do a post right now. You have 1 minute. 1 minute, because a post doesn't take long. Okay. We have 17 minutes to bust out a whole day's worth of stuff. So hang tight. And remember, the more you can make it interactive, and if you can do these interactive every single day, you guys, I promise you, you're going to have so many more messages, so many more. Okay. I will tell you too, that if you do like ask for pictures, what I really love is the ones that'll be like, hey, post your third picture in, from your phone, camera roll or whatever. Those are wonderful because people love sharing their pictures. And if you ask for an opinion, you guys, people love sharing their opinion. Those are great too. Okay. 10 seconds. We're moving on. Yes, Sarah. Yes. Yeah, because when this is done, you're not going to see that anymore. All right, 3, 2, and 1. So Sarah said, just make sure if you want, take these and copy and paste them into your note section. Sarah, I'm going to just assume you're doing that for us, and I will, because I'm not able to pull that up. All right, you guys. So next one, what I do is I do 5 minutes of story interaction. So I told you I do scrolling intentionally, right? I also scroll through stories intentionally. So stories, what I mean by that, again, Facebook or Instagram are up here. Okay. So I go into the stories, and this is what I do, you guys. Look at, I don't just click on everybody, because like Mina, I already know Mina. I already work with Mina. Okay. I love Mina, but I don't need to interact with her right now. I need to intentionally do this, right? So I'm going to go and I'm going to interact with somebody who maybe, again, maybe I have been really having my eye on, or maybe it's somebody where I'm like, oh my gosh, I know they've been struggling with this. I know it can help, but I don't want to be that salesy person. They need to gain my trust, right? So 5 minutes right now, go to your stories, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram. All I want you to do is click on the person's story, whatever it is. Okay, here's my friend Christine. She's eating Jenny's ice cream. Boom, done. Message her, and I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I love that flavor too. Whatever it is. Okay. You are going to intentionally get into their stories and interact with them. Okay. Ready? 5 minutes. And again, I do much longer on this. I usually probably do this about 20 minutes, but we're going to do 5 minutes. Okay. I'm just giving you the ideas. And personally, for me, I do more stories via Instagram than I do on Facebook, but to be honest, they're usually pretty, pretty similar. Oh, I see Jane and Michelle now. Hi, ladies. I also personally find interacting via phone is easier for me when it's stories. All right, you guys, 3 minutes left. And understand too that this may feel like a lot of social media interaction, but your business is on social media. Okay. And the more you can build these relationships, the better. If any of these stories, by the way, are people that you wished happy birthday to, I would go to the next one. Okay. Right now, you should be creating messages with like probably 20 to 30 new different people. Gosh, I hope you guys get the same response that I'm getting on this hair loss thing. This is crazy. right, you guys, you got less than a minute left. And then we're closing out. All right, you guys, finish off that last message. And we're going to end with that one for our social media interaction piece. Okay. So as you can see, there's multiple different ways throughout one day that I do that. Birthdays, stories, scrolling. Okay. 3 different ways that I create at least 20 to 30 conversations a day. All right. And again, everyone's days is going to look a lot different, but some people, I feel like, and this is just the way of the business, I feel like we focus so much on the perfect post when really we should be focusing on building the relationships and interacting with people. So if you look at mine, I mean, it's rare that I have posts up. I do a lot more in my stories, but it's very rare that I'm putting up posts about certain things. Okay. So the more and more that you can interact, the more and more you'll be able to share what we have our hands on. So this is what we're going to do now. So normally, by the way, if you have a team of people, whether it's 2, whether it's 20, whether it's 1,000, whatever it is, what I also do, and that's why your DMOs might look a little different than mine, but I also have an allotted time of usually, and this is for me, but an hour to an hour and a half of team reach outs, where that means I'm following up with the team, I'm, interacting with people, whatever that may be. So for you, if you only have a couple, maybe that's once or twice a week that you're following up with your team. Hey, how are things going? What do you need help with? What can I help you with? Okay. Make sure that is in your DMOs, whether they are sponsored by you or not. Okay, you guys, the more people that you can reach out to and help, first off, benefits you, but second off, they feel love, they feel support. Okay, all of the things. So with that being said, we're not going to do that part. Okay, you can do that part on your own. We're going to end with telling about the company and the business now. Okay, because this is also what we do. We also, not only do we build the relationships, but the relationships that we have built or the people that we do know, we also share. Okay, so all I'm telling you guys to do tonight. Now, those of you that are not specifically on my team, I know you're in here from Nicole's team, maybe some others, but there are usually Zoom overviews or whatever almost every night of the week. Now, my team specifically, we have one on Thursday. Okay. So I'm doing this for my team, but you guys who are not on my team, please take this and use it for whatever Zoom overview or whatever team like group. If you guys do one in your team group, whatever this is. Okay. So with that being said, what I do is for the relationship that I have built. So maybe those were over all of the things we did just now, maybe over the last couple of days, I was already doing that, right? Or maybe over the last month, whatever. I make a list, you guys, I told you I'm a list person, of people. My list, I mean, I don't even want to show you, I'm embarrassed at how messy it is, but literally like my planner book, every single page, I continue to add people. When someone pops up and I'm like, oh yeah, that person, write them down. Oh yeah, that person would be great for a product. That person would be great for business, whatever it is. I write them down. Those are the people I go back and I interact with when it comes to business. Okay. Now, some of the newest people you just interact with, you might be like, oh, I really want to tell them. I really want to. You got to build that relationship a little bit more. Maybe that means just a message or two before you share this. That's okay. All right. So what I do here is I go into Messenger and I tell them, again, I'm sharing about our Thursday one, you guys. So take this and turn the words, whatever. I'll put this in the comments. Don't worry. But I say, hey, hope you are well. I wanted to reach out to you and extend an invite. Okay. I run, obviously, and this is somebody, if they've seen me, you could say, obviously, you know, I run my own health and wellness business, but the company I've partnered with has these incredible clean products. Honestly, I've never seen ingredients like these at all in supplements, but we have an education group in which we share about the company and the products. I would love to hear your thoughts. Would you mind if I invited you into the group? Now, this is, like I said, specifically, I'm directing this towards my team. We have a group that we bring people into because guess what? I didn't just message them, hey, we're going to have this overview. We're going to have all these people who are going to share about the products and the business and all this stuff and scare people away. I just want their opinion and I want them to join the group. If they respond to me and say, hey, yeah, I'd love to join the group, or I'd love to hear a little bit more, that's when I'll then message them, okay, great. Thursday night, or I'll wait till tomorrow and I'll say, Thursday night, we have a presentation. I would love to tag you in the video so you can hear more. And I'd love to know your thoughts. And then I can tag them in that, but you got to get them in, again, for our team, into our group first. Those of you that are in other teams, I'm sure you have a group that you guys also try and get people into so they can see the content. Okay. So I'm going to share that right here. Again, these are my words. So make it sound like you, don't make it sound like me. Because again, your audience will know if it doesn't sound like you, right? So turn it to whatever you want. But the last 5 minutes, all I want, and I'm telling you again, normally you guys, I do this for like 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30. But for the last 5 minutes, just go into a past relationship, look at your list. If you haven't made a list, start making a list. Do that for the last 5 minutes. Make a list or go into those old relationships and invite them into the group. If it's somebody you've already invited into the group, but they haven't seen an overview yet, then you're going to invite them onto the overview. Say, hey, one of our team leaders is going to be on. She's going to be presenting about these phenomenal products and the company. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Can you please hop on at 6? Well, she's doing 6 p.m., but you know what I mean? Just say, that's why I try and get people into the group, because they'll always be able to see a replay. You can also send them a video. Okay. But 5 minutes, you have send a message, send multiple messages, get people into whatever your team group is that you share, or whatever your overview is. And now the other thing is, when you get them in, when they say, yes, I would love to join your group. Sure. Some are not going to respond. Some are going to say, no, no big deal. But when they say yes, what I do, this is my personal thing, is I don't just say, okay, here, I'm going to invite you. And then they get a notification. I go into the team group. Okay. So this is ours. And I invite here with, oh, nope. With the link. I do not invite them like just in their messages. I share it right here. It says share group. I click that and I send it to them via Messenger. And I say, hey, awesome. You want to join? Click on this link. You can just join and you're good to go. That way they don't miss a notification. And that way they have it right there in Messenger. Okay. And you always want to double check that they got in there. Okay. You have 4 minutes left. Hey, you guys. So that is Power Hour. All right. So again, I took what I do normally in a full day's time. And again, your day will look different each day. So maybe for me, I have team calls or opportunity calls or things like that where I have to put in too. Okay. Obviously, again, if you're somebody who needs that organization, I highly, highly recommend you get into Legacy League so you can get on and watch Sarah's video tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and she'll really, really help you with organization. But again, if you can every day just know, hey, for my week, this is what I got to do Monday through to, whatever it is, again, depending on your weeks, your days might look different each day. Okay. And that's okay. Do what you can do within that time frame. But this was an idea. This is what you really need to focus on, is those relationships, those interactions, and more conversations to be had. Okay. Will it be live tomorrow so I can watch the replay after work? Ashley, it will be live in Legacy League if you're referring to Sarah's. So there will be a replay if you're in Legacy League. If you're not in there, definitely join that group. Okay. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for getting on with me today. I hope those conversations will lead to new things tomorrow. And I hope that they continue to lead to more and more stuff. Okay. Bye, guys.